Top of the morning, everybody. Eric Soulbox out in the little factory today. You see what I've got going on. It's assembly day. Got my lids ready to go on there, so it's kind of what I'm working on. I'm thinking about generosity this morning. I've had some people be generous here as of late, and you know, I try to be a person that gives a little bit more than I really have to. And so when that is returned my way, I'm always really sort of happy to see that happen. So I had a customer, I had a 17-year-old kid get a hold of me quite a while back now. Actually, that's the reason I don't have panniers on my KLR right now. So the 17-year-old kid gets a hold of me and he says, hey, my mom and I have been saving up some money to buy panniers for my big brother as a surprise gift because he's going to be riding his KLR cross country. And I'm like, you are going to get a bargain. So I hooked them up. I'm always really thrilled when I see somebody be generous, whether it's to me or somebody else. And so that kid got a smoking deal. I took the panniers off of my KLR and did him up right. And so what else has happened? I took an order yesterday from a guy ordering side cases that right at the very end of the conversation he goes, oh, and it had $25 for the boy. And I'm like, what? Turns out he wanted to just give a gift to Asher, $25 for Asher to be able to do whatever he wants with. And so that was really cool. That was the first time that I've ever seen that happen. I've actually got a set of panniers over here that are waiting to go on to an Africa twin. He's a local guy and he came by too, and we were trying to put him on his bike, and it turns out he's got Happy Trails frames. Happy Trails, they sent out the wrong puck kit. Which actually is the puck kit that he ordered, but the puck kit doesn't match the frames that he ordered at the same time, which makes no sense that they would send him out that way, that they wouldn't make a phone call first and say, hey, are you sure this is what you want? And evidently that's the second time that that's happened, because I now have two sets of Happy Trails pucks. Hold on. So anyhow, that guy, he's a local guy, and I almost always do something nice for anybody that's local. And so I was kind of, he bought a 3-box set, so he bought side cases and a top box, and there's always a little more wiggle room anytime people buy all 3 pieces. And so when he actually already paid, we weren't able to finish setting up his bike. He had to order the correct parts. But he went ahead and paid, and he overpaid. And I was like, oh, no, that's not what you owe me. And I had just given him a discount. And so anyway, he was insistent on contributing the extra money, which is just cool, you know. One thing I've learned in my life is that if somebody's willing to be generous or to give to you, the last thing you want to do is not accept it and be gracious, you know. That's part of it too, you know. It feels good to give to other people, and so you should never deny somebody the opportunity to be given, you know what I mean? Because it does feel good to do something nice for somebody else. And so let's see, that happened. What else has occurred as of late? Seems like there's one I'm missing. There was the kid, there was this one, the guy that gave an extra 25 to Asher. I guess another one that I get sometimes is, sometimes I'll get a woman calling and she'll be saying that her husband is looking at my stuff and wants, you know, for it to be a surprise. And so I've filled orders like that on a number of occasions, and that's always nice. Also, I took a call. This is the other one. Is last week I took an order for a set of side cases from a guy that was actually buying them as a gift for a buddy of his, which was really cool. That's happened a couple of times in the past also. So I'm always pretty stoked when I get to see somebody thinking of somebody else. You know, it kind of goes against human nature in some regard to not just look out for number one, because the bottom line is that we're kind of genetically predisposed to look out for number one, because basically you don't survive if you don't, to some degree, look out for number one, right? And so it's just always nice to see when somebody's willing to sort of put themselves out there and think of somebody else and not be selfish. If there's one thing that really turns me off, it's people that are selfish and self-centered. I occasionally also will get the random message of, hey, will you take such and such? And that's in regard to boxes, and I don't even respond to stuff like that. I just don't. But on the other hand, I've also had people in the past get a hold of me and say, you know, hey, I'm a single dad, the budget's limited, or, you know, whatever, you know, is there any wiggle room? If you do something like that respectfully, more than likely that's going to be met with me saying, yeah, you know, I'll do something for you. But if you start the conversation with, will you take blah, 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 that's not going to end well for you. So anyway, that's just kind of what's on my mind this morning is, you know, to see what you can bring to a situation and not what you can take from it. If you want to be truly happy, see what you can contribute. If you want to be truly miserable, approach life from the perspective of what's in this for me, you know. Be selfish, be self-centered, what's in it for me, and you will never be happy. So anyway, Eric with Solar Box, I'm going to get back to work. I'll talk to y'all later.